So hi there everyone, and welcome to a new series on the channel. My name's Leon, I'm the one looking after you, and welcome to Opinionated. This is a new series that we're trying out with me and some other YouTubers, just to see how it goes. And what this series is going to do is we're going to basically pick a subject every week, and I'm going to see what some other YouTubers' opinion on it is. If you saw the Christmas episode of Just Talking, you'll know how this kind of works. They'll have some questions that we've put together to do with the subject, and we're going to see how the answers. So let's see who's involved in this episode.
Well, hello there everybody, and hello Red Event Games. Thank you for having me, Dodgy Gamer, on your Opinionated show. So, as I said, I'm Dodgy Gamer, that's my channel name. I've been doing this for about a year now. I started at the tail end of 2017, December 2017. I actually started out with Truck Simulator videos. The reason I chose Truck Simulator to begin with was just to kind of practice, to get used to it, to get used to talking into the camera, to get used to talking while playing. And as it's a game with not that much going on in terms of the surroundings, I thought it was a good game to practice speaking into the microphone on. My real aim though was to get into Football Manager, and Football Manager 2018 is where I got most of my views from and picked up most of my subscribers from. I had a good save there with Gençler Birliği, a Turkish team, took them to the top of Turkish football. Couldn't quite crack Europe, but you know, you can't win everything. Also did an international journeyman on Football Manager 2018, International Manager of Mystery, which was good fun, but came to an end when Football Manager 2019 came out. Recently, I've been doing a bit more variety, trying out some new games that have come out, going back to some retro games, currently doing Sid Meier's Pirates, but I'm going to get back round to Football Manager with the 2019 edition eventually.
My name is Maturius. You might have heard of me, you might not. You've never seen my face because this is the first time I am on cam. And I run a small gaming channel called Maturius Gaming, discovering indie games along the way. I play a lot of indie games, games like RimWorld, games like My Time Porsche. I do a lot of achievement runs. Once a month I do the best unknown indie game, so if you're looking for any game you want to play, check out that series because there are some good games in it. And my channel is all about promoting unknown games, playing unknown games that you might not have heard about but are great games. That's my channel.
Hello guys, I'm Bad Jokes Gaming, aka Spencer. I'm a Football Manager YouTuber, although I have been branching out into other sports games in the last few months, mostly Pro Evo 2019 and WWE 2K19. So yeah, I do mainly sports games. They're the only games I really play, so they're the games I do on the channel. And I've been at this YouTube malarkey since May the 1st, 2017, so about a year and a half now.
Hi guys, this is Pavel Plays Games here. I'm a Let's Player, I'm a streamer, and I do a variety of games. I do from horror to RPGs to simulation, you name it, I'll do it. It's no game I wouldn't play. I'd honestly just want to entertain you guys, so whatever you guys like doing or like watching, I'll quite happily do it.
Hello there, I am Steffian FM, and my channel is basically Football Manager gameplay. I, take a save, however long I can do it, things like that. I also do a lot of other games. Atlas is what I'm going to start working on in a bit. There's some Ark, there's some, just random stuff. Tropico 6, whatever I can basically get my hands on is what I'll play.
So those are the people involved in this episode, and I want to thank them all for getting involved. I appreciate their support. If you want to become part of it or want to become a guest in a future episode, leave it in the comments or drop me a message through Twitter or the email address which you'll find on the YouTube About page. So let's get into this week's first subject. And since we're all involved in this lovely world of YouTube, we thought we'd choose YouTube as the first subject. It's what we do. And it's always interesting to see how other people feel about this crazy world that we are in. So let's see what their opinion is on some of the subject about YouTube.
So I basically started YouTube as a way to learn editing, video and audio. I had some software that I could use and I could get my hands on, and I was kind of getting a little bored in my job. There wasn't a lot to do or not a lot to learn and grow. So I took that opportunity and just started, I watch YouTube all the time. I watch, a lot of Let's Plays, Gassy Mexican, Achievement Hunter, Neebs Gaming, things like that. And I thought this would be a great way to learn how to video edit and, cut up whatever I can get whatever footage I can get my hands on. And, I love playing games, so might as well try it. And from there, it kind of grew into an idea of, I don't really have a lot of friends that I know personally because I'm either at home or at work. I don't really have a lot of activities outside of these areas. So it's hard to meet people. And I was thinking, oh, I don't have a lot of gaming friends anymore. That kind of went away in college somehow. And why not try and find some new ones? So after the video editing, the audio editing, meeting new friends, now it's kind of trying to find a good core group to collab with and, play games with somewhat regularly and just have fun with.
I started YouTube because I'm a full-time carer for my other half and her brother, and so I just needed some sort of hobby just to keep me happy, to keep me busy when I'm not having to look after them two for those brief 10-15 minutes. And so yeah, that's why I got into YouTube, just for a hobby and because I love FM, and because the whole time I've been playing FM over the last 20 years, I've been doing the commentary and all the little press conferences and everything you would do in a video, I've been doing, but to myself, for the last 20 years. So the missus finally said to us, "You're always constantly jabbering on about that bloody game. Why don't you just get a webcam, get a microphone and get started with it?" And so I gave it a go. Like I said, first video May the 1st, 2017, and it's been non-stop ever since. I really, really enjoyed it. And so yeah, that's why I got into it, just to keep me busy, just to keep me with a little bit of a hobby.
As for why I started YouTube, it was kind of as a hobby, really. Always as a gamer, I kind of looked for a way to connect with a community. So back in my younger days on the Commodore 64 and the Amiga and the PlayStation, I always enjoyed getting friends round and doing multiplayer with them. Then when I got into Football Manager again, in the 2000s, I discovered the SI forums and I got involved in the community there. So there's always been that element of trying to connect with the community through my games. After several years of writing on the forums, I kind of found out about Football Manager YouTubers, started to watch a few of them, follow a few of them, and I thought that would be a good new step forward.
I started YouTube more than a year ago. I started it because I wasn't finishing any games. So I have over 300 games. I think even more because that's only on my Steam account, and I got like 80 on EA. And I never finished them. I got 11 finished that I played from beginning to end and got all the achievements on it. But most games are sitting there. Some I haven't even touched yet. So I wanted it to be like a stick for me to make me play the games and finish them. And along that way I discovered indie games and I fell in love with indie games, and that's how my channel changed, and I only started to play games like indie games like My Time Prussia, Stoneheart. I can name over 100 games that are from small time developers and that need attention of the big public.
I have been doing YouTube now for around about 9 months at this point. 9 months. And I didn't do, for me personally, I didn't do any kind of research or anything. I just went, let's dive straight in. And then I figured things out as I was going. And I wished I actually took the time back to just to go, hang on, this is how you do it. This is how you want to do it. Because the beginning of my videos, compared to where I am now, is like night and day. it's amazing to see how far I've become on my editing, my thumbnails, my descriptions, on me, sometimes I just wouldn't even bother. I've started to advertise a bit more, which, I wish I would have done to begin with.
In terms of research before I started, I guess I just did research by watching a few different YouTubers doing Football Manager, basically. Now, obviously, if you type Football Manager into YouTube, there are certain names, big names within our community that are going to come up. Your Dr. Benji's and Work the Space, Golden FM, Lelujo, Loki Doki, and so on. So I started watching them and just watching how they were doing things. But one thing I thought after watching several of their various videos is that obviously these are guys at the top of the game. They're the guys with the biggest following, the guys who've been doing it for several years, and they've got a well-polished product. So what I started to do then was focus more on smaller YouTubers, people who at the time had maybe a couple of thousand or even just a few hundred subscribers, because I thought that's more what I should be looking at. That's the kind of, I should be aiming to be producing something of a similar quality to them within 6 months to a year. So great guys to watch for that. Obviously, Red Event Games was one I discovered that way, but guys like Grey Hair Gaming, Rampant FM, I was watching them, just seeing how they went around doing their videos, and then thinking about how I could do something similar.
Researching YouTube, I mean, I did some. I'm not sure how much I did. I did a fair bit, I would say. But, the first was, okay, how do I record gameplay? Found OBS. That was easy enough to set up after a little while of researching. Then, okay, audio. How do other people do it? Oh, Audacity seems to work fine. I know Audacity, from researching my own, trying to do, is this what I want to do? Or is this a hobby that I want to try and deal with? So I knew OBS, I learned OBS, I knew Audacity, I could edit videos. The question was, what do I do from there? Do I do a webcam? Nah, let's wait on that. Do I do Xbox gameplay? Oh, well, I don't even know how to do that. I know Elgato, but I don't know anything beyond that. So let's just stick with the PC stuff, research that, and figured out how to get an actual MP4 product, and then research how to put it up to YouTube. And that was pretty much it. From there, it grew into, obviously, the webcam. I'm trying to figure out how to get Xbox to work a little better. Right now, it is through my Windows 10 machine and the Windows 10 Microsoft or Xbox app, which is a little funky, and doing that through OBS. So there's still a lot to research. It's kind of more, I'll do the research as I start seeing a need for it. I'll keep up to date here and there on other things that people are doing and trying to use, especially on this Discord group. There's a lot of different ways that people are recording. So I'll try and keep up with that. But full research is mainly what I'm going to be dealing with. And if I see new things that I want to add to the channel, a lot of what I'm researching now is both Premiere Pro and After Effects, certain things within them, how to do certain effects, and all of that to kind of make my editing a little better.
I did quite a bit of research, I suppose you could say. Just about the time I was thinking of doing YouTube, Loki Doki and Lelujo, they released their How to Do YouTube series. Like, they did 2 separate series. I can't remember what the word is for 2 series. Series? Is that the word? Series is? I don't know. I just on a postcard. Yeah, but anyway, Dave was doing their series. And yeah, it was really informative. Really, very good. It came at the perfect time for me. So I watched all of them videos. Dave was really good about how to set up, how to do OBS. Literally, I had no clue about anything up until about April 5th, April 8th. Until then, I had no idea about any of this. And so, yeah, I had to do quite a bit of research.
I started without any research, and that's because I just wanted to start a YouTube channel. I made one, and I started recording. And then I needed to edit, and that was a big learning process. And along the way, you need to learn everything. You need to learn to edit thumbnails. I found GIMP for that, and I start editing with GIMP, and when I wanted something, I looked it up at a YouTube channel and learned along the way that that's the only way I could do it, and that's how I learned kind of everything. Audacity, I've done a lot of research about the search engine optimization, how to tag things, but not everything works, and you'll learn that along the way. Starting a YouTube channel is one big learning curve.
Okay, things like monetization, I didn't really understand it. I still don't, to be honest. I know the basics, obviously, that if you do reach the whatever mystical targets YouTube decide to set for this year, that you can then start getting paid for your ads and whatnot on your videos. That's about all I know. I think that's all there is to know. If there's more, please do let me know. And what else is there? Thumbnails. I kind of understood thumbnails. Again, the old Lelujo and the Loki Doki series coming at the right time. Really explained what a thumbnail is, what a thumbnail should do, what a thumbnail should maybe look like in basic terms. And so, yeah, that I kind of picked that up while doing my research. And SEO. SEO I had no idea on. I had not heard of SEO at all before Loki's series in particular. And so, I had no idea. I still don't really, to be honest. I should really get better. I've been doing this about a year and a half. I should really get better at this. But yeah, basically SEO, as I understand it, is just all the tags and just all the tags you put beneath your videos. And yeah, that's it. Off the top of my head, that's all I can think of for SEO. There's a whole lot more to it, but don't ask me. I ain't got a bubble. I ain't got a Scooby-Dooby.
I started with no research at all, so monetization was not something high on my list because I would be glad with only 100 subs, and once I hit that goal I was amazed, because why would 100 people sub to my channel? That was what went to my mind. And the same thing hits with thumbnails. I researched what I wanted and I made it how I would want it to be, and that's I still think I can do a lot better, because I see thumbnails that are amazing, and I think you can learn a lot by just looking good at other people and maybe sometimes ask the question how they did that, because they're never they always want to tell. People always want to tell how to do something, and they are always willing to help you. You only need to ask a question. The search engine optimization is something I tried a lot of different things in, and I know a lot of things don't work and a lot of things do work, and well, we'll get into that later, but big time creators, big YouTubers have a big advantage over us, because they have the subs and they don't need the search optimization, but you can do a lot, you can learn a lot just by watching YouTube, but not everything will work.
Monetization of things I never really understand, because it's kind of difficult for me, because due to my dyslexia and the information doesn't stay in my head with me on the medication that I'm on. Obviously, you know, people who know me know what I'm going through. I feel like for YouTube, it's not as... When I first started watching YouTube was about 2006, 7, 8, I can't remember. Well, it would have been 2008, because my first guy that I followed was 2008. And it was so like... it's hard to explain. It's like there wasn't many creators back then as there are now. It's like there's so many people getting into YouTube, so many people getting into the aspect of doing the editing, the content creating, the skits. It's unbelievable, like how many people are actually doing it. And it is, I feel like it's difficult for small channels like myself to grow because there's so much competition. But at the same time, I don't mind about the growing to get monetization. That doesn't bother me. I've always wanted to do it just for the simple fact I love doing it. It's fun. I want to be entertaining, and I want to be there for someone who's not having a great day. That's, after that, bonus. As long as I get someone, make someone smile, someone happy, or someone, take the mind off the problem, I'll be happy. Then that's all I want to do. I want to give back to the community what the community give to me to begin with my issues that I had.
I've been a web developer and kind of graphics person, sort of, for my entire actual career outside of YouTube, if you want to call this a career. So I understand things like thumbnails. I know how to create thumbnails. I know how to use Photoshop and all of that. SEO, I've understood from a meta a web perspective. So I understand the concepts. Monetization, I definitely understood the ideas. When I came into YouTube, the monetization rules were a little different. So when I sat there, when I first got into this, thinking, oh, monetization, that would be great. Not primary of what I'm getting into this for, but it would be nice to get a little cash back if I could. So I started working towards that. And, I understood the idea of monetization and everything that YouTube was doing to kind of help people out in terms of monetization. I understood, the 1 million+ subs. I understood the PewDiePie and the Jacksepticeye's, that they could make obviously a lot more money through ad revenue and all of that. So I definitely understood the ideas, the concepts of, while going into this project.
So thinking about those basic terms and the kind of stuff that's involved, the things that are involved in setting up a YouTube channel. I mean, obviously I started to do research into the hardware, but I followed a bit of advice. I know I just said the smaller YouTubers were perhaps better to watch in terms of what I should aim for, but a Lelujo video, or a series of videos where he goes through equipment, but he had advice, just start with what you've got. So if you go and watch my early Football Manager videos, you'll see this grainy webcam footage, which is from the onboard camera on my old laptop actually, and I got a headset on, so I look like I'm at a call center or something like that. I just started with what I've got used to using it, and then when I saw that, okay, this isn't just going to be something I give up on after a few weeks, I'm getting more serious, I'm starting to pick up a few subscribers, then I started to look into microphone, proper microphone, webcam, got a tripod for it, those kind of things. I mean, there's still other things I could get, but it's best to start with those things that you already have. As for the technical terms that come with YouTube, or monetization, thumbnails, and so on, I mean, I knew a little bit about them. Again, referencing those Lelujo videos, he showed off Canva as a simple web-based bit of software for knocking together thumbnails quite easily, so I started to use that. But as for the other things, I mean, SEO, I don't know if I'll ever really, truly understand that. I mean, I've followed all the tips about keywords in your video title, in the opening paragraph of your video description, and in your tags. I don't know if I've seen any effects of that yet. And when it comes to monetization, I mean, I never got into this with the thought of, oh, this is going to be a money spinner. I mean, it would be nice if eventually we reach levels where YouTube will open up that avenue for me, but it's not something I'm particularly targeting at this time.
I wish I could talk about support from YouTube for small creators, but I really can't because, well, I don't think there is any. I really don't think there is any. If you're a really small YouTuber, like how I am, like how I think most of the people on this video are in the grand scheme of things, there is no support. Even like the YouTube spaces, you have to be at 1,000 subscribers and have so many watch hours and whatever in order to get to use. At least that's my understanding, because I have looked into it. I would like to go to my nearest one in London. But yeah, there's no support whatsoever. There's no one to talk to. There's no sort of live chat. There should be a live chat on a website like YouTube. There should be a live chat thing, or sort of there should be more from the actual platform. for how to start up on YouTube and how to get yourself noticed and all that sort of thing. But there doesn't seem to be any of that from YouTube. It all seems to come from other content creators, which I don't think it should do. It should be YouTube saying, alright, now you're on it, now you're doing videos for us, this is how you're going to get noticed, this is what you've got to do for the first 6 months, or the first 100 videos, and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I would love to see a lot more support from YouTube for small creators.
Support from YouTube, it seemed to be a lot better in the earlier stages. At least when I started out in this project, it has grown to be a lot more beneficial to the larger ones. Obviously, I've got 260 plus subscribers. I'm not going to be bringing in a lot of ad revenue. PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, who are 20, 30, 40, 50 million subs, who are getting God knows how many views, they're the ones bringing it in. So I understand how YouTube gears monetization and everything towards those larger YouTubers. However, it would be nice to have some kind of support for us younger ones. I say younger as I've got the gray, but younger in terms of obviously, channel years and all of that. Obviously, I got my full-time day job. Most of the people watching this probably have a full-time day job. YouTube is not their day job. YouTube is, a lot of people are still not getting any money from YouTube. And as a small creator, it is a little disappointing that, again, I'm not in it for the money. However, watching people who are, Jacksepticeye, who's funny as hell, I will give you that. But some of these other million plus subs getting God knows how much money, and there are some other creators who are doing the exact same thing who are better, but there's no real support structure to get them the views. Discord, the YouTube Helping Hands has been very helpful in that, but it's still not going to get, Speedy, he's not going to get 1 million subs from this Discord group. And it's too bad that some of these creators are not going to get the support from YouTube itself. So it is nice that there are other outlets like the YouTube Helping Hands group, but it can only go so far in its infancy.
I do think the support from small-time creators, there are a lot of small support groups, and some do work, some don't work. I've been in quite a few different support groups that do work and that don't work. A lot of them don't work because they depend on, kind of the sub for sub construction, and that doesn't work at all. You really need people who are really focused on supporting each other and really helping each other, learning from each other. It's a big thing.
The criteria for monetization, I've already gone over it a little bit earlier, but it keeps on changing. It keeps on changing, and it's really, really annoying that it keeps on changing. Like, even though I'm nowhere near, I do like to keep an eye out, just in case magically I do rise up quickly and I do get close to it. But yeah, it keeps on changing. I can't remember what it was before, but now it's the 1,000 subs and the however many hours of watch time, which I don't think, it's difficult. I don't really like it. I preferred it how it was before. But yeah, 1,000 subscribers and like so many hours of watch time, that's a big target to have to get to. But if that is what YouTube are going to stick to for the next few years, then yes, stick to it and everyone will be alright with it. But don't change it again when there's another crisis, when another one of the big YouTubers does something stupid. Don't punish us little guys by changing the rules for blooming monetization. That is what I would say about it. If you've got an idea, stick to it and don't change it.
Monetization of YouTube itself. That's a topic that I've always had issues with. And basically, the reason I've had issues with is, like I said, when I started out in this YouTube project, just kind of learning the way and learning the ropes and how to deal with everything. There was a specific low level for monetization. I think you had to have, I don't even remember what it is. You had to have like 100 subs or maybe a little more and a couple of other things. I was working towards that. I was just about to hit that when they bumped it up to, what is it, 2,000 subs and God knows how much annual watch time on average. I was upset. And the reason I was upset, obviously, is because I was so close to that threshold. And I understood that if I hit that threshold, I'm not going to be going from $0 to $100 a video. I would be going to 0 to like 1 penny a video. But that's still 1 penny. It's still something kind of showing, okay, well, I'm growing. I will slowly get better and better, and I will, start making a little more and more, and I can throw that money into, at the time I didn't have a webcam, so I could do that. I could buy another, a better mic, or buy some games that I would love to play. Then they threw the threshold up a ton, and while I understand why they did it, it would have been much better if they had done it a different way. If they had started out with that threshold. And I mean, it upset me greatly. Now, I was thinking, I guess I should say it put me into a mindset of, why am I really doing this? Am I doing this for the money, or am I doing this for, just the learning aspect? At that point, I'd learned how to video edit. Obviously, you can learn as much as you can keep growing. But if I'm working towards a goal, and I just about get to that goal, and they say, oh, well, the goal line's now, 1,000 miles longer. You're thrown into that area of, well, what do I do now? I mean, that goal was right there, attainable. I could do it within a month. And then no. Now it's going to be years for that goal. So I just had to figure out another goal. I've actually thrown out goals completely. I just figured I would keep doing this and grow as much as I can, learn as much as I can, until I finally got to a point where either I could do this as a full-time job, or I get sick and tired of the day in, day out editing. It is tiring. It is hard to do day in and day out.
If you look at the old terms of the monetization, it was only 10,000. Was it 10,000 subs or 10,000 views? I don't even remember, but I think a lot of people with the sub for subs, or just buying views and that kind of stuff, got there pretty easy. It was an easy way to do it. If you look at the new terms of monetization, they are hard to hit, but they are kind of fair, because if you look at it, I'm a small-time channel. I have 300 subs, and I have over 750 hours of watch time. So, well, if I would hit the 1,000 subs, I would get close to the few hours. And maybe the 1,000 subs isn't a bad line, but the 4,000 hours, I would love seeing them put that to 3,000 hours, because that would still be hard, but way more acceptable.
To be fair, the monetization, I feel like they could do it a lot better. Like, have it set things, like, instead of like, you've got to have this and this and this. How about view the channel itself, see its views, because the threshold for it, from what I understand, like I said, I don't really get it, is a pile of plop, if you ask me. I feel like it could have been done differently. A bit like the I don't really want to name this, but Twitch, where you get the affiliate, where you can subscribe. I feel like that should be some kind of impact for YouTube, where you get none of it. Monetization is great, but I think if you should be able to set up this subscription thing where they do the same thing, where you get the guys who really love the content want to subscribe to keep getting more content. I get it. You know, that's something I feel like they could do a lot better with. But that's only my opinion. So many people said this, so many people said that. You know, that's just me.
Okay, YouTube, main thing they could do better, like I've already said, is support the lesser YouTubers. Like, I bet there's so many more people out there who want to get into YouTube, but don't have a clue, don't have an idea, aren't really involved in any sort of community like how I was kind of before I got into YouTube. I bet there's so many more people out there that would like to get into YouTube, but haven't got a clue. And so they would need some sort of official tutorial, some sort of official how-to YouTube guide. I've not seen anything like that out there, and I'd like YouTube to be a lot better at getting back to people. Like, I've never had to have too much to do with YouTube, but I have heard stories of people waiting ages to hear back from them. It's ridiculous that for a company the size of YouTube, there's no sort of phone line, there's no sort of live chat, there's no customer service, there's no one to talk to in my experience. And so that is what I would say. Get better with your customer service. Make it easier for people to get in touch with you if they've got a question or if they've got a problem, because I think that would help with all the monetization problems people are having as well. If there's just a very quick live chat where you could go, oh, I'm thinking of doing such and such in my video. Will this get me demonetized? And so you can have someone come back within 2 minutes. Yeah, it will, or no, it won't. That's fine. Go ahead. And so that is what I would say. Get a live chat. Get some help, and get some help for the smaller people.
YouTube to do better in terms of all this. I really don't know. I mean, it would really be nice if they could gear some of their stuff towards the new creators, the younger generation. You know, you've got all these 1 million subs groups, and they're, like we've said, they're getting all the money, and yet a lot of the lower groups aren't. I mean, Colonel Failure, from what I understand, it's not still his full-time day job, and he's got gobs of subs and gobs of views. So if you look at him, and we're kind of striving to be him, you know, in terms of the amount of subs and the views and all of that he gets. And thinking that someone of his stature is still not able to do this as a full-time day job. I mean, what chance does a 100, 200, 260 sub, you know, channel have in the next couple of years? It's a little disheartening. So give us a little bit more support. Kind of gear a lot of these projects or a lot of these things to us, to the smaller channels, and help us grow. I mean, obviously, the more we grow, the more ad revenue you guys get, and the more everyone else grows.
So one person who was missing from the last sections was the Dodgy Gamer. He kind of answered the kind of last few questions in one. So I'm going to hand over to him for this next bit.
Well, when we come to think about YouTube and YouTube supporting small creators or just any creators, I'm not so sure support's the right word, because YouTube, I think, you know, obviously they want various people to be using their platform, but I think they've reached a point where they don't really need to entice small creators in. You know, it's running. It's like a self-perpetuating machine. It just keeps going. They've got their big stars, they've got their niche stars, they've got their up-and-comers, and you know, it just takes care of itself in a way for them. So I don't think YouTube as a big corporation perhaps particularly feels it needs to invest in and do things for small creators. One thing that happened, like when I started on YouTube, when I was just a couple of months into it, that was when one raft of changes came with monetization, where they said, okay, you've got to have 1,000 subscribers and you've got to have 4,000 hours, was it, of watch time within the last 12 months. And I know a lot of people were unhappy about that, particularly people who were, you know, up to 900 subscribers and they'd started to make money under the old system, or people who had the watch hours but didn't have the subscriber numbers and so on, or the people who say they've been waiting months to get approved. So I think probably, yeah, they could, just to do right by people, they could review those cases faster, although I'm sure there are so many people who reach that target every day around the world that probably manually reviewing all of them would be quite a task. But that's something they could certainly do better, I think, in terms of the speed in which they respond to people. This is luckily hasn't happened to me yet, and I hope it doesn't, but it's happened to some other creators in the community that I know, where they've had a video blocked for some reason, whether it's something about music they've used, whether it's something about an image they've used in the video, or maybe they actually haven't infringed on any copyright through their choice of music or video, but somebody or a bot thinks that they have, and then people complaining on their channels that it takes a very long time to get resolved, and they have to put up with various penalties while that's going on. So I think that's definitely something YouTube could do better. The other thing, I think, from a consumer side more than a creator, that I think YouTube could do better, I find when I log into YouTube, that splash screen, they tend to push various channels and various videos on me a lot. So there are certain things I'm into. Football Manager is one of them. There are various other games I'm into. And then, you know, like anybody does, you pick and choose with your creators. You can't watch all of them. So you have your favorites. But what I find sometimes is there will be people I'm subscribed to, and they disappear from my front page, and I don't get notifications when their new video comes up. And it's happened a couple of times where I see someone pop up on Twitter and I think, oh, I haven't seen a video from that particular creator for a while. And then I go and click directly on their channel, and I find they've never stopped making videos. They've never had a break. They've been producing daily or, you know, scheduled content regularly, but YouTube just stopped telling me about it. But at the same time, there are other creators who, for whatever reason, I'm not a big fan of, or not particularly interested in the current series they're running, and YouTube will keep pushing them onto my front page. And I don't mean it's, you know, big channels of hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but even in some cases there'll be a channel with 800, 900, 1,000 subscribers, and YouTube can just keep throwing that person onto my front page. And, you know, I wish they wouldn't. I wish they'd just stick with what I'd subscribed to, and maybe put a tinier, small suggested channels video down the side instead.
So that is their opinion on YouTube. Some interesting points that they've all raised. It kind of shows the different ways that we've all come into this. We all perceive it, all our understanding of it. And it's kind of why I chose YouTube as a subject. There is no hard and fast answer for any of these things that we do. It would be interesting. I agree with some of the points raised about, you know, help for smaller YouTubers. We kind of seem to be forgotten about until you get to a certain level, and we have to help each other get to those levels. And it should be easier. It should be easier. It should be more support, more proactivity from YouTube itself. You know, one of these guys could be the next big YouTuber. You never know. And I think that, you know, it should be nursed and helped as much as possible. Yes, there is the Creators Academy, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm not one that's going to sit. I've done some bits on it, but I haven't got the patience or the time to sit and do all that and do what I do as well. I have a job as well. I do this. I have a life. It's difficult. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, or if you haven't already done so. Leave your comments below. I'm going to leave the last of the goodbyes to those people who have been involved. But until the next episode, I'll see you all next time.
Well, thanks for listening to me and my fellow creators ramble on. I will be back to making videos soon. I've had to take a few enforced breaks recently because of work, but things are going to sort themselves out. But for now, I'm Dodgy Gamer. See you again soon.
So that is from me, Sefian FM. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Enjoy.
And, well, Menturius is signing off, and I hope you guys all enjoy it, and I would love to hear from you in the comment down below what you think of my first webcam appearance. Would I need to do it more, or would you say this is your last time on a webcam? And maybe Red will let me come in one of his other series, and well, we'll talk some more. See you in the next video. Venturi is signing off.
So I feel like I'm in a good place. I'm happy with everything. So thank you very much, and I shall see you soon. Take care.
That's me done for today, guys. I am Bad Jokes Gaming, Bad Jokes Games over on Twitch, where I stream 5 times a week playing Football Manager 2019. Come and give us a follow if you're around. And so yeah, I shall see you guys next week. Bye.